If motivation actually worked, you might be where you want to be.
I know, that's a little rude. But think about it. How many times have you felt completely fired up about your business? You watched the webinar. You listened to the podcast. You bought the planner. You color-coded the planner. You bought a second planner because the dog ate the first planner. And yet, somehow the results didn't magically appear. For many ADHD entrepreneurs, the problem isn't a lack of motivation. The problem is relying on motivation in the first place. Motivation is like that friend who swears they're coming to help you move. They're incredibly enthusiastic on Tuesday. By Saturday, they've disappeared into another dimension. And that's why successful business owners don't build their businesses on motivation. They build them on systems, specifically accountability systems. An accountability system is simply a structure that keeps you moving forward whether you feel like it or not. Because let's be honest, some days you'll wake up ready to conquer the world. Other days you'll spend 20 minutes researching the history of paper clips instead of sending client emails. ADHD brains are wonderfully creative. They're also professional escape artists. A good accountability system gives that creativity a direction. The first step is choosing one primary goal, not 12. Not every brilliant idea you've had since breakfast. One, maybe it's booking more sales calls, launching a new offer, growing revenue, finishing a project that's been sitting in almost done territory for 6 months. Pick one outcome and focus on it. Once you have the goal, break it into weekly targets. Because goals are nice, but weekly actions create results. If your goal is to book 10 sales calls this month, your weekly target might be sending outreach messages, following up with leads, or posting content that drives conversations. Now you're measuring actions, not wishes. Next comes the daily check-in. This should take about 5 minutes. Every morning, ask yourself, what are my top 3 priorities today? Which one matters most? What's likely to distract me? And what support do I need? Then at the end of the day, do a quick review. What got done? What didn't? What's the next step? Simple, not glamorous. But neither is brushing your teeth, and we're all pretty grateful that's become a habit. The next piece is progress tracking. ADHD brains often struggle to see progress unless it's visible, which means if your tracking system exists only in your head, your brain will treat it like a rumor. Use a whiteboard, a spreadsheet, a project board, a notebook, anything that makes progress visible. Track things like calls made, leads contacted, content published, revenue generated, or projects completed. When you can see progress, you're more likely to continue creating it. Now let's talk about accountability. The thing many entrepreneurs try to avoid because they think they should be able to do it themselves. Here's the truth. Most people perform better when someone else is involved. That's not weakness. That's human psychology. A coach, a mentor, a mastermind, an accountability partner. Someone who knows your goals and occasionally asks the terrifying question, so did you do the thing? That external accountability often becomes the difference between knowing what to do and actually doing it. Then we get to consequences. And no, I don't mean punishment. You're running a business, not a medieval kingdom. Consequences simply create stakes. If you miss a commitment, there should be a predetermined response. Maybe you owe extra outreach the next day. Maybe you donate money. Maybe you schedule an accountability session. The goal isn't guilt. The goal is creating enough friction that your brain takes the commitment seriously. At the same time, don't forget rewards. ADHD brains run on dopamine. That's not a character flaw. That's biology. Celebrate wins. Recognize progress. Create incentives for consistency. The next critical piece is a weekly review. Once a week, stop and ask, what worked? What didn't? What helped me move forward? What got in the way? And what needs to change next week? Without reviews, most entrepreneurs keep repeating the same mistakes and calling it persistence. A review creates awareness, and awareness creates improvement. Finally, build a reset plan, because you're going to fall off track. Everyone does. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is recovery. When things go sideways, don't start a shame spiral. Don't redesign your entire business. Don't announce a dramatic new productivity system that lasts until Thursday. Just reset. Look at the goal, identify the next action, take the next step, keep moving. That's what accountability is really about. Not pressure, not punishment, not becoming some superhuman productivity machine. It's about creating a structure that supports you when your brain decides to wander off and chase squirrels. And if building all of this from scratch feels overwhelming, that's exactly why professionally designed systems exist.
Frameworks like Dr. Getting Focus's MBA provide entrepreneurs with accountability, strategy, structure, and coaching support so they don't have to figure everything out alone.
Because the biggest challenge for most ADHD entrepreneurs isn't knowing what to do. It's consistently doing what they already know. Build the system, trust the system, and stop asking motivation to do a job it was never qualified to do